Welcome back. We've made it to the final and honestly, the absolute most exciting station of this algebra unit. In this explainer, we're going to look at a brand new strategy guide for conquering a totally new math challenge. If you've been feeling comfortable with everything we've covered so far, well, get ready to level up. We're taking the training wheels off today, but hey, don't worry. I'm going to give you the exact roadmap you need to master this.
To conquer this efficiently, here's our master plan. We'll cover the puzzle of variables on both sides, the 4 golden steps, practical application with lesson examples, special cases and math surprises, and finally, the common sign trap. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The puzzle of variables on both sides. Leveling up our algebra skills.
Up until now, we've learned exactly how to solve equations where the unknown variable, like the letter x, appears on just one single side. You just isolated the x, right? Pretty easy. But now look at this. 5x minus 3 equals 2x plus 9. The unknown is on both sides of the equal sign at the exact same time. Okay, let's dive into this. How do we even decide which side the variable should settle on? Well, the secret lies in a brilliant little strategic move I call the family gathering. The goal is to bring all the variable family members together into one room or, one side of the equation. Once you gather the family together, the whole thing immediately transforms right back into those familiar, simple equations you already know exactly how to solve.
Section 2. The 4 golden steps. A strategic roadmap for any equation. We're going to use this straightforward roadmap to solve any of these equations without ever feeling overwhelmed. Lock these 4 golden steps in. Step 1. Simplify each side first. Look at the right side alone and the left side alone. Unpack any parentheses using the distributive property or combined like terms. Step 2. Move variables to one side. This is our family gathering. Eliminate the variable from one side using inverse addition or subtraction. And here's a pro tip right from the source. Always try to move the smaller variable. It usually keeps your coefficient positive, which literally makes the math so much easier. Step 3. Isolate constants. Add or subtract to get all your plain numbers over to the opposite side of your variables. And step 4. Final division or multiplication. Just clear out that final coefficient to find the exact value of x. Section 3. Practical application, lesson examples. Putting our strategy into action. We know the theory, so now let's put our golden strategy to work on some actual problems. Think of this as the first boss of our quest. Example 1 is the equation we saw earlier. 5x minus 3 equals 2x plus 9. It's a classic, basic equation, but those variables are just staring at each other from across the equal sign. Let's see how our golden steps handle this. Now, what's really interesting here is how flawlessly this cuts straight through the confusion. Looking at step 2 from our roadmap, we need to gather the variables. We subtract 2x from both sides, simply because 2x is smaller than 5x. That leaves us with a nice positive 3x minus 3 equals 9. Next up, we isolate the constant by adding 3 to both sides, which gets us 3x equals 12. For the final step, just divide by that coefficient of 3, and boom, victory is ours. X equals 4. Okay, let's step it up a notch. Example 2 is 3 times the quantity x plus 2 equals 2x plus 12. Looks a little more intimidating, right? Well, this one explicitly requires our very first golden step before we can do any family gatherings: internal simplification. It's kind of like unlocking a chest before you can actually get to the treasure inside. Let's completely unpack this. First, we distribute that 3 right into the parentheses. 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 2 is 6. So that turns our equation into 3x plus 6 equals 2x plus 12. And suddenly, this big, intimidating problem is just another simple family gathering. We subtract 2x from both sides to move our variables together, leaving us with x plus 6 equals 12. Finally, subtract 6 to isolate the constant, and we arrive at our final solution, x equals 6. Just beautifully structured, logical steps. Section 4. Special cases and math surprises. What happens when the variables vanish? Now, I've got to give you a heads up. Sometimes, right in the middle of our strategic family gathering, the variables completely vanish into thin air. And this brilliantly illustrates those exact plot twists. See the broken math logic, like 3 equals 5? That's the no solution case. If your variables cancel each other out entirely and you're left with a mathematically impossible statement, it means there is absolutely no real number that makes the equation true. You simply write no solution, or use the empty set symbol. On the flip side,
check out the perfectly balanced identity, like 4 equals 4. If your variables vanish, but you end up with a perfectly identical, true mathematical statement, it means literally any number in the universe you plug into X will work. For that, you just write identity or all real numbers.
Section 5, the common sign trap, the ultimate pitfall in exams.
Okay, lean in and listen closely here, because this is huge. Fun fact, a solid 80% of points lost on these tests aren't from misunderstanding the complex algebra. Nope, it's from simply dropping a negative sign. So the crucial point is this. When moving a variable from one side to the other, always remember to flip its sign. If it's positive on one side, you absolutely must subtract it to move it over. If it's negative, you add it. Forgetting to change that sign from positive to negative or vice versa is the #1 mistake students make. It acts like a domino effect, totally ruining the rest of your math and leading to completely incorrect answers. Keep this rule locked in your memory for sure.
So, are you ready to gather the variables and conquer your next equation? Think back to our strategy. By simplifying each side first, grouping your variable family using opposite signs, isolating your constant numbers, and finishing up with some simple division, you honestly have the power to solve anything they throw at you. You've got the ultimate roadmap now. Go out there, avoid that sneaky sign trap, and tackle your own math puzzles with total confidence. But before I let you go, think about this. What happens when our variables stop playing nice and start bringing exponents to the party, like an x squared? We'll save that mind bender for next time. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. You've totally got this.